Mm.
Good morning, Khenpo.
Good morning.
Good morning, everyone, and hello to everybody online. Welcome to the ABC. This morning we have good fortune of having Khenpo here with us to teach. He has been brought to KPC by Jetsma Oppenheimer, our teacher. This morning he'll be continuing on teaching us, and we will lead into a meditation, a mindfulness meditation. And so thank you all for being here. And, if this is new for you, feel free to stay afterwards so we can help with any questions you might have, because sometimes it's a lot to take in. So anyway, enjoy the class. Thanks.
Mm. Sanji ji do zo ji chon nam na xiong chu pa tu da ni jiao zi ji da ge jin zo ji be zo na jin zhuo lai ben ji san jun zhu bo xiao san ji chu do zo xi xiong chu pa tu da ni jiao zi ji da ge jin zo ji be zo na jin zhuo lai ben ji san jun zhu bo xiao san ji chu do zo ji chon nam na xiong chu pa tu da ni jiao zi da ge jin zo ji be zo nam jin zhuo lai ben ji san jun zhu bo xiao san jian tam ji de wa de de wi ji dong de mo ji ji dong ha de dong an ji ju dong 동남에 배대와다 뭐다면 저와 지진이ren 저도 니는 저에 동념지 몰랐네 봐 주지 생전 탐진대와다 대위지도 내뭐지 동아도 동아지지도 저와지 남에 배대와다 뭐다면 저와 지진이ren 저도 니는 저에 동념지 몰랐네 봐 주지 생전 탐진대와다 대위지도 내뭐지 동아도 동아지지도 저와 지지 동남에 배대와다 뭐다면 저와 지진이ren 저도 니는 저에 동념제 몰라 내봐 주지 ngaji zunje penje bamala 타용 시바 zone 수된 진입에 마벨란다 베모노 베jal라 소와 안데 공기 땡진데와 가방 해봐 제면 봐 제보면 봐 다음에 뭐하면 봐 다대되면 되지 뭐 저번이 예신데 뭐 조베 상제만은 담바델라 샹조로 so good morning. Welcome to Sunday class. Meditation class. The last few, I think, Sunday, we talk about mindfulness. Then also we meditated on one of the application or mindfulness, which is body mindfulness. Is it? Yeah. So there's many different way how to we meditate on body mindfulness. Okay, one is we already actually done. So how precious our human body or human life, that is one thing. Then other thing, last Sunday we already done unclean or unpleasant, like of a body which is unclean, 36 different kind of things within us, in this body. Sometimes we can say 36 unclean substances. Yeah. So that was one. Then today we will going to meditate on skeleton. Is it? Skeleton or what? Yeah. So those are why we are doing actually, because for us, ordinary people always, wrong view or we can say we have the strong attachment with this, body, or desire. So we have to remove that kind of desire. So then we have to meditate or practice on unpleasant or skeleton or something like that. Also, the ordinary people, just like us, always, um, kasi, holding wrong view or like what is unclean as clean, and also we are holding like what is impermanent as permanent, and also uh, uh, um, holding like or what is actually there's no self. We are always holding self. So all those view, as we are always holding in a cause a wrong way or wrong view. So we have to make that view in a correct way, or so reason of that, those mindfulness or other practices are actually a kind of method or tool through that we can make our view or our wisdom in a wrong a right way or right view. So Kenru, which is this is actual meditate on skeleton, is actually not only the this practices belongs to Theravadi, even those bodhisattva, um, um, they actually practice on the skeleton. Skeleton, yeah. So in also then mention it in the middle way, and also it's mentioned in Abhidhamma. Okay, Abhidhamma, the which is belongs to Theravadi, and the middle way, which is belongs to Mahayana. So in a Mahayana or Theravadi, both they doing this practice, because we have to remove our desire to this uh, body or attachment. So reason of that, so those who already achieve the bodhisattva's path, so even they are doing this practice again and again. So because even you are reach the 10th bhumi, still they have us slightly a little bit they have because those three poisons, desire and ignorance and angry. So reason of that, they are practicing this kind of skeleton meditating or meditation again and again. So through that they can remove the desire to the body. So we are also doing in the same way. So in Karze the Abhidhamma actually, Genru Chaji Tamche la Ruba Jiangsu na Zhuxi Dubi Le Dongbu Genru Nen Te Sheba Dongwei Zhongwa Sheba Xis. In Abhidhamma actually mentioned it. The skeleton is the main one in the process of meditating on unclean or unpleasant. So if we looked at the other dead bodies, then which were blue and red and stained, insect destroyed, and the bones were not broken, and the rain soaked and thought that my body also not different from that actually, kind of. So those when we see skeleton uh, at the cemetery, so we can see other bodies, like become a skeleton. So one day, our own this body also become like that, so through that we can think about skeleton. So first, some actually some practices practitioner will they go to a cemetery where there are skeletons. So then they practice on this meditation actually. Go to the cemetery and seeing the dead bodies and bones of others and own body. So one day we'll be able to see that our own body is also not different than the dead body. If we are afraid to see the bones in the cemetery, so then those practitioners are saying, why not be afraid when we are alive and this body moved by some thoughts? This body is like they're giving some example like zombie. Yeah. So similar like that, when we are alive, this body is actually not different than the those skeleton at the cemetery. So we have to think one day might this own body also become like that. So through that we can think about skeleton whole the overall the whole body actually. So when then also we can think when we are in the cemetery and see the bones or skeleton and not moving yet we run away in a fear. Mhm. When we are still alive and this body will moved by some of our thoughts, thinking, so why not become afraid of the body which is look like a zombie? So it's saying that some practitioners are saying like that, So it's think very, kind of afraid or scary, jixrunga, which means scary. Yeah. Then if we look closely, it is skeleton connected by 360 verses. This is a kind of because Tibetan books are saying actually Tibetan medicines. So our whole body, which is a different kind of bones, like I don't know 360 different bones, our body's structure, yeah, make from the 360 different bones. But I don't know in the modern anatomy, they said a different way. They said 206 different bones that we have. It's a different, a different way how to they, explain. So they said the overhead. So in the modern anatomy, this is 28 different bones we have. But in a Tibetan medicine, this is 61. Yeah, there's a big difference. Then also they said Changko Riba, which means maybe this part, the torso. In because modern anatomy says 52 different, we have different bones. But in a Tibetan medicine, they said 159. Yeah. So then in hand, modern anatomy says 64 different bones we have, Then in the Tibetan medicine, this is 70. Then feet. In modern anatomy says 62 different bones. In the Tibetan medicine, they says 70 different bones that we have, So the total becomes, 206 in the modern anatomy. And the Tibetan medicines, they have 360 different bones that we have or within, this body. So these they have some, calculations, different, yeah, all the different ways. Say, yeah, so many, yeah. But I have all the lists actually. Yeah, I don't know why Dou Ryu, Hmm. Sopa. Sopa is shoulder? Not shoulder.
Shoulder blades.
I don't know. In Tibetan medicine, they didn't count actually. I don't know. Scapula?
Yeah.
Scapula. Is it shoulder or what? Hmm. But anyway, so this is the different, the numbers of how, modern science or Tibetan science, they count at different bones that we have on within this body, So through that we can, think about so our own body also, have like that. If we are, focusing on modern science, then we can think, 206 different bones. If we are going to, thinking about Tibetan medicines, then 360 different bones that we have. So first, actually, how do we meditate on that? So they said, starting with between the eyebrow from here. Yeah. So we must image that the muscles of the body are gradually reduced from the bones, one pieces at a time. Then when our whole skeleton is revealed, we have houses and the inside, the outside of each other, and the whole world is full of bones. So this is one of the practice or meditation, which the bodhisattvas are actually doing. They said the earth meditation and water meditation, on fire meditation and skeleton meditation. So different, how to say, part, and different, they do meditate on a different, the 5 elements or 4 elements, or sometimes they add the skeleton meditation. Yeah. So think of it as more and more gradually, then we picked up the bones one by one. Finally, we need to pull back the bones of our body and focus on the bones. So we follow the same line, but finally our skulls must sink from the bottom to the top of the skull. Then focus on that. Even if we have to repeat the process once again, continue to meditate on the absorbed state. We should meditate until there is a small pieces of bone in our, forehead, and focus on that. Although those, 3 meditation, do not eliminate our desire, they help to, reduce cravings. Okay, craving. Oh, sorry, craving. Is craving is holding desire. Yeah, yeah. So all the actually those kasorta meditate on skeleton or meditate on unclean 36 unclean substances are actually kasor reduce our desire or say the craving, you know. So why we are doing those practice on body mindfulness, because we have a very strong attachment with this body, so we need that attachment remove or clean. So through the those meditation or through those practices, which is suitable for you, you can do that. Sometimes we can do mitanwa kasor, meditate on unclean or unpleasant or ugliness. And sometimes we can do the meditate on skeleton. Yeah. So through that we can remove the desire to the body, or desire attachment to the body, or to the being human. Also, when sometimes we think being human is so precious, so precious, then through that we have a little bit attached with this whole body, so that attach is not really good for for us, maybe. Yeah, for those who are practitioner, or for those who are practicing Buddhism, or practicing whatever. Okay, because attach is one of the causes of suffering. If we want actually the long-lasting happiness, or if we really need the happiness, then we have to remove all the three poisons. Now otherwise we cannot actually get that happiness or long-lasting happiness. So even the Theravada, those arhat, where they are yeah, where we say complete, um, um, I mean samsaric suffering. Yeah, because they already how to say applied the antidote of what we can say, the attached with this body actually. Okay, so then they have that kind of wisdom, selflessness. So once we have that kind of wisdom, then I think we never going to attach actually or desire to the body. So those arhat, they said, why those arhat are not, I mean, reborn, not born in this samsara. Yeah, because they already kaso, pang, which is I think removed all the desire to the body, or we can say, or three poisons. So reason of that, they will never return in a samsara once they achieve, or once they complete they that kind of wisdom, I mean. Okay, so of course then they said, then there already the some questions, so then those arhat are, achieved Buddhahood or not. Then there is, some questions, So they said then that is actually not the actually last result or final result. Okay, still, of course, they have to come back to samsara. Then again, they apply the kind of bodhicitta. So then through that they can, achieve bodhisattvas, bhumi. Okay, so it's a take time actually, yeah. So, but still, those then when we say bodhisattvas, they already, removed those three poisons. Then why they are, um, kase, uh, born again and again this samsara? Then they said there's two different causes rebirth, born in samsara. One is the karmic or karma, or we can say through the three poisons. Then another one is the wish. Okay, so the ordinary people, we are born in samsara through the karmic or through the three poisons. Then those bodhisattvas, they born in this samsara as through the wish actually. Yeah, so there's two different, So, those who are born in the samsara through the wish, then they have, kind of power, like, free to go anyway. They can go actually. So ordinary people, we follow the karma. So we can't go, where you want to go actually. So it depends on how you accumulate your karma. Some are accumulated, good karma. Some are accumulated bad karma. So through the, bad karma and good karmas, you're born in, good realms or bad realms, or we can say sometimes that's three low realms or three high realms. Yeah. So this is different, those arhat and bodhisattvas born in samsara, how. So but and this, I mean, special, the skeleton meditation is actually the common, because one of the common practice. So both Theravada and Mahayana, or we can say those arhat or bodhisattvas, they both are actually practicing on that because of three poisons. We need to remove all three poisons, so it helps you. Mostly this one is the especially antidote. I mean antidote of the kasa desire. I mean, yeah. Once we to seeing of our own body, kind of skeleton, then we will never, I think, attach with this body. So this meditation you can do again, 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 again. Then gradually, one day we will be able to achieve something, and until all the attachment, um, remove, so till that we have to actually, need to practice on that actually. So this is the reason there's two different way how those practitioners are doing, meditate on body mindfulness. One is unpleasant and one is skeleton. Okay, so we can imaging yourself thinking over this body like a skeleton, the full of the bones, are different kind of bones. So then you can, you concentrate on that. Okay, yeah, maybe 10 to 15 minutes or 10 to 20 minutes, just think on that. Okay. Then we can take a break. So this is, I think, very important. This body mindfulness, okay? They think because unpleasant or skull, get used to it. Once we get used to it, and then it will helps us to see the, Karze, what is the truth of suffering actually. It's related with Four Noble Truth, So once we, Karze, know what is the truth of suffering, then also we will able to know the causes of suffering, So this is that is why actually this practices are so important in Kasod. Any yanas, Theravada or Mahayana or Vajrayana. Of course, in those Theravada, Mahayana, and Vajrayana, the practices, how they practice or meditate on body mindfulness are slightly different. Yeah, but the more important is how to reduce or remove the three poisons, or how to remove the desire to the body. That is the main thing. So even we are doing related with Theravada practices or Mahayana, so it's important. So that's the reason, this is the common practice, the all yanas actually. If we really want to achieve Buddhahood or Arhat, then we have to know how to, practice on body mindfulness or the other mindfulness too, actually. Yeah. That body mindfulness is not only the, focusing on kasota, body, structures, bones, but these practices we have to use into kasota. Antidote, one of antidote. Yeah. If we don't use kind of antidote, then it's just concentrate on body. That's it. Those practices should be, apply, or should be antidote, one of the, poisons. Yeah, then it's, useful. Helpful. So reason of that is not just only the concentrate on the body, it's used in one of the antidote. Yeah. So I think it's important. Then once we get used to it, this body mindfulness practice, whether you are, concentrate on unpleasant or scolding, this meditation or this practice will help us to the selflessness. Yeah. So reason of that, before that we are, practicing on selflessness, then we are doing this practice, focusing on how our body is structured, and how it looks like. Yeah. Okay. If we think there is a self, then if there's something discussing on that, then which one is the self? Head or hand or feet or fingers or what? Then we can say whole body structure. Yeah, that is the reason. Just we are focusing on the just body shape or structure, kind of. Then some are say this body is I. Some are say this mind is I. So there's a different opinions, the different yanas, the different religions. I mean, some religions are saying this mind is I. Some religions are saying this body is I. So which is true? Yeah. So it's important, to know the how our body looks like. It's just like what we are just mentioned it in the textbook. Just in the 360, different bones structure it actually. Then it's cover up some skin, then kidney, kind of like that. That's it. Once we remove all the bones, all the kidneys, then there's no eye. So this is the process to know this, selflessness. Okay? Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
Does anyone have any questions they'd like to ask Khenpo?
Yeah.
I had one.
Okay.
In the West, the cemeteries are very pretty, and they're decorated with flowers, and they're nice places to visit. And in Tibet, I don't think they are. They're kind of like, vultures are coming there and picking bones. And so were you encouraged as a young person to visit places like that for your practice? And is that typical to go to those places?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Actually, it's a good place to practice or impermanence, or because we have always, kind of thought like this is good, this is bad, or this is clean, or this is unclean, or that kind of mindset. This is one of the obstacle, to knowing the truth. So reason of that, those Vajra practitioners are actually, when they want to jit practice. Normally, yeah, they go to the cemetery, they inform the dead body, or some are sit on the dead body actually. Then they do the Karze practice, because they want Karze. They don't want, this is good, this is bad, or this is very scary, or this is not. Kind of that of thought or thinking. It's one of actually antidote. Okay, so reason of that, those practitioners go to the cemetery. In Tibet, we don't have like American has actually beautiful and decorations, or even in a Chinese, the cemeteries are very beautiful. Like they built each and every family has land for the parents or kids. They build a small house, then put dead body inside that. So when we see the far away, it's like as in a small city. Yeah. That when we reach the nearby, then it's look there's a cemetery actually. Yeah. But in Tibet, we don't have like that. Okay, we just give it to Karze, to the bird. Vultures. Yeah, mostly we give it to the vultures and cut it piece. Yeah. So it's scary. I mean, Tibetan cemetery is very scary actually. Yeah, you can see cemetery. If you go this Tibetan cemetery, you can find a knife and other things. What is that? The so for the cutting machines, and bloods. Yeah, you can see. Yeah, so a little bit is scary than the American cemetery. It's a different, very different. Yeah. So then, yeah, of course, like in Vajrayana, they always kapala. When we see the kapala, which is ordinary people's in the mind, it's very dirty. Actually, dead bodies, bones, whatever. It's a dirty or what? Scary, actually. Yeah, but in Vajrayana practices, we use it into the kasa substances, offering things like that. Yeah, even bones. We use sometimes gangling, we call flute. Yeah, yeah. If we really practice on the body mindfulness, then those have become a part of I mean what we call and practice. Yeah, yeah. So of course, if we can do that, then you can go to a cemetery, okay, and do practice. The most important, of course, compassion. Without compassion, it's a yeah, not not work. So compassion with it, then practice whatever you are practicing. Even sometimes we pass the cemetery. So when we saw the cemeteries, or even in the hospitals, kind of, we just apply some compassion and think about some impermanent. That is really helps, because we say of a soul running somewhere near to the cemetery or hospitals. So when we apply the compassion to those who pass away, so it helps to them actually. Then they can, how to say, they can move on from that place to the the high realms or whatever we call. Yeah, always it's really useful when we think about compassion or kindness. Yeah, alive and death, both. Yeah, because when Karze, dead person, I don't know what we call that. That soul,
Oh,
dead person's soul,
like their consciousness.
consciousness. It's a very, how to say, powerful than the when you are alive. When you pass away, then your consciousness is more powerful, become more powerful, and you can see more clearly, yeah, more clever. So that is the reason, So our consciousness, there's only two places that can block. One is the how to say, uh, mm, the last one is hell realm, which we call Dojeden. I don't know in the in the English, it's difficult. Yeah, Nyawa Dojeden, which means very, very, how to say, the lowest of realms. That is the one. And second one is mother's womb. These two can only stop when the people dead, then that consciousness. Okay, he can go through the, like when we close the door. When we are alive, if we don't, open the door, we can go outside or come inside. But consciousness can go. Yeah. So that consciousness is become more clever, more powerful. Yeah. That consciousness see that everybody is what they are thinking actually. So reason of that in the Tibetan tradition, the 49 days when people are passing away, we do the practices, for especially those who person pass away, because we believe the 49 days, we can say maximum 49 days consciousness, his or her consciousness is running around. Yeah. So after 49 days, then we believe in a, I mean, that consciousness will pass enter the womb. Yeah, mother's womb. Yeah. Any of realms, if he got born in a human, then that consciousness will enter the human mother's womb. If that consciousness rebirth like animal, like pig or cow, yeah, then it enters the cow's womb or pig's womb. So during the 49 days, that we do practices, Yeah. That is the, I think, reason. After 49 days, we believe actually that consciousness is actually no more stay in that, what we call intermediate state. Only, life, 49. The longest one is 49.
I have a question that sort of ties to something you said last week that really impacted me when you were first saying, like, at the time of death, we, like, as our consciousness separates from our body, we might be confused, like we're seeing our body. So do these meditations on the body help with that, so that we're not surprised when the consciousness and the body separate, like by practicing to see ourselves as, bone and matter and the 36 substances? Does that help it reduce confusion at that time of death for us, because we've meditated on the body as something slightly different than what we always are?
Yeah, of course, there's just something, a little bit different, but it helps you, when that death is come. Yeah, of course, the 100% sure that this will be one day will become. When we don't know, is it? But when we say tudam, tudam, everybody knows. I think tudam. Really? Tudam. When the people pass away, that some the doctor or mission already confirm this. I mean, person is already no more breathing, no more consciousness or death. So, but in the Tibetan we call there's two different breathing. One is outer and the other one is inner breath. Okay, so the inner breath, when they stop, when inner breathing is stop, then we call that person is totally dead. So when some practitioners are, the outer breath is no more there, but inner breath they can hold. Actually, inner breath they can hold. Maybe some are 20 days or 30 days. The mostly 3 days or 4 days they hold. In between that, they are actually in meditation on the processing of the Karze. Intermediate? Intermediate processing, I mean. Then they are, thinking the colors and other things, the appearance in that period. Yeah. So after they, feel this is the end, then they will stop the Karze, inner breathing. Then we call the totally, I mean, death. Yeah. So the Karze, how many days you can hold inner breath is depend on when we are alive at that time, how we are practicing or how we are meditate on that actually. So meditation is actually helps, all the connection actually they have a connection somewhere. Yeah, this mind body mindfulness meditation also can help when the death comes. Yeah.
So, is it really just the masters who can achieve Tudong,
Mm,
inner breath,
mm,
or do even ordinary
okay.
practitioners who are
Yeah.
not so great? Can they, I mean, will they even experience
Mm-hmm.
an hour a day? Will they even experience
Mm.
any aspect of Tudong? Or is it really you have to achieve something very much
Mm,
more?
mm, mm, mm. Yeah. I think these days, people when the people are die, um, some people really, normal people, I mean normal person, if they die after the 2 or 3 hours, their bodies will become, I mean, yeah, become change colors and smelling like that, but some, or 1 day or 2 days 3 days, never change the color and never smelling. there's only two things. One is those who really can do practice. Those good practitioners can hold the inner breath. Then second one is most of the Karze saying in the textbook also they have many stories actually. When we have attached with something, when death, just before the death, if you attach with like a asset, like we have house and cars, kind of like that. Yeah. So then our consciousness or our focusing on that, then that person can stay few days on that state. But that isn't, we don't call that actually tudam. Okay? Tudam, which means that person is in meditation, not just focusing your consciousness on to something. Yeah, attach. This is two different. Okay? Yeah. Then there's one story, when Buddha and Shariputra, they discuss on that actually. Then one of the, I think he's a bhikshu or something. So when that he is passing, then he's on the tudam, Then the Shariputra asked actually that the bhikshu is in a tudam. So Buddha already actually this can see, he's not in tudam. Yeah. So then the Karze, Buddha actually told, just go to the, near to his ear, then just say something that actually plays. Actually, that person's focusing on some gold. Yeah. The Buddha just told the Shariputra, the gold already, stole some, gone. And then just Shariputra went, then just said like that, After that, he just fell down. Like that, So two different, some people, can stay like that too. That is, but only those who are really, the high, lamas can see. Not only lama, those who have really, power can see other people's, thought. They can see, this person is really in the tudam or not. Yeah. Of course, even the lay people, those who, when they are alive, they, good practice, or then they can stay on that, state. Yeah, so many lay people, can stay in a tudam. Many, yeah.
Then I have a question. Khenpo, you mentioned about attachment to things, house, car, gold. I think the more important is what about attachment to another person or family?
Oh,
Can you say more about that? Because I think that's more real.
yeah.
Sometimes we are like
It's
still holding on, whether the person who's alive holding on, or the dead person still clinging on to a beloved person. I think that's more relevant for, I think, many of us. I think.
Yeah. There's a saying, just say mucho tome. Mucho tome, tome, mucho tome.
Yeah.
Yeah. in his maybe 36. Yeah, how many that in that textbook, Rangi Sholan Decha Chutayo, which means attach with your side, like parents or brother and sister and wife, husband, whatever, that attach will increase your desire. Okay? Then other side, which means those enemies to you, when we saw those people, we are angry, So this too is obstacle of, obstacle of the equanimity actually. Okay? So we should always, think less or attach less the family or whatever close to you actually. Okay? Of course, we are ordinary people, always have that kind of, attach, but so as, the Karze practitioner, or we really need to just reduce that attachment, Yeah. Of course, it's a one of obstacle. Yeah. But when we say don't be too attached with your family or parents, but some people were thinking in a wrong way, Then they say, where is your compassion? This is too different, Compassion and desire is totally opposite, actually. Yeah. The attach or desire is actually, one of, cause of suffering. The compassion is one of the cause of happiness. This is too different, actually. Okay? Compassion through the people when we saw the suffering. Compassion through the, people when we saw the people, then we have to think, oh, this person is, even, he or she want, happiness, but they don't know how to do or how to get that kind of happiness. They are lack of wisdom. So we think like that way, then we apply compassion, So it's a two different way. Okay? One is desire, which is we don't want. One is compassion, which is not through the desire, okay? Yeah, to knowing the truth. Yeah. Yeah. Okay? Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So read this practice in English. Home, in the northwest country of Udayana, born in the pollen heart of a lotus, endowed with the most marvelous spiritual attainments. You are renowned as the lotus born, surrounded by a retinue of many deities. Following in your footsteps,
I pray to you, please come forth and grant your blessings. Pema Siddhi Hum, Omo Ahum, Benzang Guru Pema Siddhi Hum.
Your 1,000 arms are the
1,000 evolutionary monarchs. You 1,000 eyes, the 1,000 Buddha of this fortunate age. You who teach each and every one of us according to our needs. Lord Avalokiteshvara, to you I pay homage. Om Mani Padme Hum Shri. Om Mani Padme Hum Shri. Om Mani Padme Hum Mani Padme Hum Om Mani Padme Hum 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 Om Mani Padme Hum 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 Mani Padme Om Mani Padme Om Mani Padme Hum 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 Mani Padme Om Mani Padme Hum 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 Om Mani Padme Hum 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 Mane Peme Uwonshi.
And then on the back side. By this virtue,
So may all swiftly accomplish the state of Chenrezig, and may all sentient beings without exception be placed in that very state. By this effort, may all sentient beings be free of suffering. May the mind be filled with the nature of virtue. In this way, may all causes resulting in suffering be extinguished, and only the light of compassion shining toward all realms. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Happy Sundays.
Happy.